This morning I want to talk about the state of Canadian politics. So again, Canada is following the American model of just selecting Mark Carney to be the leader of the Liberal Party, proroguing government long enough to kick the can down the road and hope Canadians forget the disaster that was Justin Trudeau. But not just Justin Trudeau. In my opinion, our Canadian government failed at every level, in every way. All of our establishments fell in line with a ridiculous narrative that no one questioned. I mean, the fact that we gave a standing ovation to an SS Nazi, I don't have this on the record, but it is something I've said often. Like, if there was anyone in Parliament that, sat down or actually turned their back, I'd like to shake their hand and make them Prime Minister. Like, I'm disgusted with all of our parties, like every single one. I'm a political orphan in Canada at this point, because let's break that down. So firstly, you got Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau has destroyed our economy. COVID was the manufactured demolition of our society. It was an exercise on control, and Justin Trudeau went right for the jugular in invoking the Emergencies Act, which, this is a story that you're not going to see on the CBC, but a group of lawyers, volunteer lawyers and a nonprofit, challenged Trudeau's Emergency Act use and won. The federal government, Trudeau's government, immediately appealed within 15 minutes. So apparently, like the lawyer who talked about this, apparently they're very fast readers. But the point is, now they fired our actual federal lawyers and are hiring private lawyers on your tax dollars that are way, way more money, only to most likely lose again. And if they don't lose again, then our court is corrupt. But this is the whole point. If you have any faith in any Canadian institution at this point, well, you have some form of TDS, possibly both. A lot of times that does go kind of with the territory. And the reason it goes with the territory is because it's the same script, right? Like, this is, again, going back to Mark Carney being just selected as our Kamala. Well, what happened to Kamala? Kamala got destroyed because the people don't want Mark Carney. Mark Carney is the idiot that was behind all the banking disasters. Like, here, I'll let the Canadian banks in on a little secret. Bitcoin isn't imaginary. No, we don't have any opinion on it that we're aware of. Like, I talked to my bank about Bitcoin, and it's actually laughable how stupid these people are, And again, it's laughably stupid that everyone believed that Donald Trump was a Russian agent that liked being urinated on by Russian hookers. And again, when you put that into context historically, is sort of nothing burger. The fact that Donald Trump was indicted how many times? Like, the most indicted president of all time. Yeah, and the most indicted and thrown out president of all time. Like, to my amazement, actually, every time, and let's call it for what it is, it's the deep state, kids. It's the secret government that is the permanent government. I mean, people have done a doctorate on that, right? The deep state is not a conspiracy theory. It's our permanent government. It's what runs the scenes. It's actually why Canada hasn't completely melted down, because there is order there. A new world order that was established by the American Nazis in the 50s, but like, we've been playing ball with the Five Eyes all this time. That's like when you know, again, Trump derangement syndrome with Bernie. Like, he says Trump is this, you know, our allies won't trust us. Well, like I said, I didn't trust America since I was a boy, and my dad said that, you know, he was going to be sent down to Cuba in a continuity of government operation, meaning a, for lack of a better term, New World Order or globalist or Illuminati cabal, wherever you want to go with that. But my father was being sent off to die. Right? Like, send the Irish, the dead cost nothing, Braveheart. Like, that's actually always been the story of my people. I'm Irish. We're the original N-word, but I'm not allowed to say that word. Isn't that something? But Gangs of New York is about Irish Catholics that were worth nothing. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent, but it kind of reminds me of Jack Layton. I don't know why. And here's where I go with the NDP. Holy Christ. Jagmeet Singh is an idiot. Full stop. Pierre Poilievre, I have to admit, like, and oh my God, like, I really am. I am a left-wing hippie. I have been a hippie my entire life. Long-haired, my hair like Jesus wore it. Hallelujah, I adore it, right? But, like, Pierre Poilievre, who the media paints as an you know, Trump 2.0 and Canada's Trump. No, he's not Canada's Trump. I'm pretty sure Poilievre, if we elect Poilievre, I don't think he's going to want to take over Greenland. You know? Like, we've had an arrangement there for quite some time. In fact, this is what, you know, again, Canadian stories don't get any, you know, they don't track in the U.S. of A, right? But, you know, our thing with Denmark is we leave each other, you know, whiskey, in the, you know, in the Arctic. And yeah, like, but as you know, with climate change and with that Northwest Passage coming in, Canada really is going to have a Northwest Passage, and it means money for the country. But we also need to protect it, and we need to fund our Navy. So this is the thing. You take some of what Trump says that you like, you roll with that. You take the other part, you're like, no, you can't do that. You know, you can't just annex Canada. You can't just invade Greenland. What we really should be doing, which is what Putin proposed, is building a super highway right across the Bering Strait there. And then you could take a train from Montreal to Paris, which I think would be cool. But again, I kind of went off on a tangent, as I tend to do. But, yeah. So, Jagmeet Singh is no Jack Layton. And It's unfortunate Jack Layton was never able to be prime minister. I'm pretty sure that just kind of the same case of Bernie. He just wouldn't have been allowed, right? And this is what we're getting. Like, we're not getting any kind of democracy right now in Canada, right? I mean, it's a clown show. And, but the media just wants you to think, hey, nothing wrong here. This is all normal, right? It's normal. Don't worry about it. And, Carney, who is indeed a globalist, I mean, that's the other part of that. The Liberal Party is way too connected to the World Economic Forum. And these are, Bilderberg, all these kind of things that come up in, again, conspiracy theory circles. There's a reason for that, because they are nefarious. And they are doing things for their own self-interest, and they don't care about you, clearly. In fact, I would say COVID is proof positive that they're trying to kill us. Like, pretty much right out in the open now. I mean, I have no faith in... Look, the problem with medicine, and the problem with science, and the problem with education is people can't say, I don't know, when they don't know. When I was first diagnosed with Bell's palsy, my doctor said, we don't know anything about Bell's palsy. And I appreciated his honesty. But it's true. When it gets to things with neurological and all that, we're just learning, kids, and that's okay. But instead of repeating the same mistakes that we saw our American friends make by electing Trump in a landslide. Now, I don't know, though. I mean, again, Trump is such a wild card. He, just because everything Trump says isn't Russian propaganda. We need to, you got to get over that. And again, it's these same talking points. We're repeating the same things about Poilievre that the Democrats say about Trump. And Trump and Poilievre, come on. They're not even close to being the same kind of man. Can you use your big girl and big boy brains to think about people and judge them for what they say, but also for what they do? Because at the end of the day, we are the measure of our actions and not our words. So when Jagmeet Singh, okay, here's where I'm going with this. Jagmeet Singh, by completely enabling Trudeau to destroy our country, makes him unelectable. The Liberal Party, unelectable. I would imagine after this election, I'm making a prediction. I think they're going to have 2 seats left. Maybe 3. But here's the other part of that, and this is where all y'all got to help me out with this. We can't allow them to push these atrocities aside, and until there's a new whatever issue with whatever. They just make stuff up, like the whole trans thing, which was always ridiculous. Oh my God, I know a guy who's a Catholic man. So he would go to church as a man. He lived most of his life as a man. But he was like an original cross-dresser. He would dress up like Dirty Diana. I think he called himself Misdemeanor, which is hilarious. But he never for a moment thought that he wasn't a man. He was a gay man. flamboyantly gay man and beautiful. I loved him dearly. I don't know. I haven't seen him for a long time. But I mean, I know his real name. His stage name, I'm not going to name his name because he is actually sort of famous in London. But anyway, if you're watching, I miss your brother. He actually always used to say that I reminded him of his little brother. You see. Well, he actually was this huge dude. He was like 6'5", I think. But a beautiful man. Like when he was dressed up like Diana Ross, like he crushed that. You know, that cross-dressing thing, which is, it's theater. But again, actually, no, that's a perfect tie-in. Because all of this is theater, right? And as a thinking man, as a, you know, someone that actually does have critical thinking skills, I would like to think, I'd like a media that shows two sides of the story again. I'm old enough to remember when that was sort of a thing. Like you offered this side of the story, and then you offered an opposing view. But after Trump broke the world's brain. After Trump, everything he said was a lie because he was Hitler. And again, it's like it's overkill. Hitler's an asshole, sure, but he's not Hitler. I mean, come on. That's sensationalism. Like, I don't know how anybody could watch Rachel Maddow. Rachel Maddow is an idiot. Full stop. And if you don't see that, sorry, boss, but you're an idiot too. Like, I don't know. Wake up and smell the Gaddafi, yo. I just wanted to clarify. I meant to say Trump is an asshole, yes. But he's not Hitler 2.0. Either is Pierre Poilievre. This is what I'm saying. Like, that's just, it's gaslighting. And people are really, really getting tired of being gaslit. You know? We're adults. We can handle it. I think it's the media that can't handle the truth. But, you know, that's my opinion.